how I like corporate interviews in 60 seconds. Now, to be clear, this is a sponsored video. This light was given to me by Zhiyun to test out, see what I thought. I get to keep it. I'm going to keep it. But here's how it helped me on this shoot. All right, so my name is Mitch Lazorko. I'm a photographer and DP that specializes in corporate content. And what you're seeing now is the frame that I created with one light, and I'm going to try to pronounce it right, the Zhiyun X100 RGB light. Everything else is just house lights here. And we're going to get into all the details of that here in just a little bit. But to start, I'm going to let you see some behind the scenes of me setting up for headshots. So why am I showing you headshots? Because this is all on the same shoot. So one of my challenges right now in terms of my workflow and the types of corporate clients that I'm getting is that I'm confident in getting good results. It's trying to get those good results quickly. So often I'm on a time crunch. People aren't necessarily as available. I have some clients where I can take a full day for a single interview and I can light it with 6 lights and take my time and really dial everything in. This is not one of those shoots. So this is a client that I work with regularly, and they were like, hey, one of our top performers is winning an award. We need to update her headshot. We need to film a short video where she introduces herself and explains what she does for the company so they can show it at the awards show. And we also need to get a few branding images of showing her in the field doing the things that she does. So this is an engineering architectural firm, so pretty fun stuff. They do quite a bit of different things, but I regularly do headshots for them. I've done a lot of other work for them. So anyways, so for this shoot, one-man band, it's just me. I need to set up to get my headshots consistent with what I've done for all the other staff. So I have a very specific setup. I'm actually using 3 lights here. And we don't have to get into all the stills specs here, but basically I'm setting up to do headshots, and from a trying to move quickly on set point of view, I'm having to pivot. Once we get these headshots done, I'm having to pivot and set up for the video, shoot that video as quickly as possible, because we actually have to leave this location, drive to a separate location. I'm not going to show you all the behind the scenes of that, but we had to drive, 15, 30 minutes to another location. And then I had another shoot this day. So I needed to make sure I was really tight on time. So here I am. I had grabbed one of our people that was here on site to help us. They were having a conversation. I was like, hey, will you stand in? Let me take a few photos of you so I can dial in my light. And then we finally brought in our person of the day, our subject of the day. And you're actually going to see me work here a little bit with my headshots. So dialing in my posing. Typically, I take 6 shots in a row. I'll do 2 turns toward one light. I'll do 2 facing the camera, 2 turn toward one light, and 2 turn toward another light, just so that I can have 6 different options for them to choose from. For this particular shoot, I was just delivering 1 headshot. And then while we were here, I took some headshots of another employee that was helping us out. So really trying to do it all for these people, trying to make sure that everybody looks good, everybody's happy with the images that we're getting, me just giving some very small notes to try to get the performance out of the subject as much as I can. Got to get that smile going. Okay, and then now we've moved on to our video setup. So I literally left all of my stills lights, everything set up. This is just on the other side of the room. I knew that I wanted to get the branding of the branding of the company behind the subject. They had given me some examples of some other people that were going to get awards at this wherever this video is going to be shown, and very much a corporate style standing with the branding of whatever company they're from behind them. So this is just another guy came over. He's like checking out the camera. I'm actually shooting on an FX6. For this shoot, I was shooting at f1.8 at about 45 millimeters on the Sigma. What is it? The 28 to 45 f1.8. It's a great lens. So just starting to get things set up, starting to find my frame. And what am I doing here? I'm getting my audio set up. So again, normally I would boom audio, but I knew I needed to move quickly. So I've got the Sony UWP a lav setup along with the one of the COS 11D lavs. So I was like, I'm just going to lav her. That's one less stand I have to set up so I can move very, very fast. I also like I use the Hollyland HDMI wireless Pyro system so that I can send it to an iPad so we can review on a very large screen. But here we are. We're about to get into lighting time. So I set up. I knew I wanted a key from right side of camera, and here I am getting my iPad going with my frame. And this is how quickly I was able to set up this light. Let's get the timer going. So I've got the Molus X100 and the Bowens mount adapter. Just putting the adapter on, which I really like that the adapter is separate from the light, so it's a little bit more sturdy. This is me popping the light on. It's actually, I think, maybe the second time I've put this on. It feels very substantial, clicks into place really well. Really not trying to shill for this brand, but this is a sponsored video, and I really had a good experience with it. And then here's what was fun is this battery pack that comes with it just pops right on. I'm able to power the light at 100% with that battery pack, which is great. And here we are, we're 25 seconds in, we're doing it. Here I am, I'm breaking out. This is the small rig, LA090. This is like my go-to if I need to have, this seems to be a pretty good balance between a large enough modifier that I can pack small and move quickly with. So I have a general idea of where I think my subject's going to be and trying to determine if I want the light tilted down just a little bit or not. And I'll adjust this once I get the subject in place. But one thing that else was great is I was able to position the subject, not directly underneath a fluorescent light, but still leave the lights on. I'm dialing in the light at, I think, 3800 Kelvin. And I end up deciding to just blast away. I set it to 100%. And then I adjusted in camera accordingly. So what that allowed me to do was I put a little bit of ND on the camera, shooting at f1.8, and was able to have the subject stand out a little bit. And this is where I'm standing in place. I grab somebody else that's there. I'm like, hey, I need you to just stand here for a while, and telling them where to look and adjust my frame. If you're trying to set up and you're a one-man band, make a friend, because most people will be okay with standing and hanging out and letting you get your frame for a few minutes. So we're just kind of like looking through it. We're reviewing the iPad. This gentleman, so I was told that the subject just needed to read a few lines about their name and what they do, but they actually had a little bit longer of a read. So they actually prepared and printed out something on a piece of paper, which I could have brought a teleprompter if they wanted that. Using a white card that actually helps me to grab exposure as well. If you're shooting S-Log3, lately what I've been doing with the white card, the color checker, is I will set my zebras to about 72%. And once I get the zebras on that card, that almost always gives me enough latitude to make sure that if I want it a little brighter, I can do that, or I can bump it down and preserve my shadows a bit. Okay, so here's my subject. We had her in a navy blazer to start, but we ended up deciding that navy on the navy background wasn't working, so she brought another blazer that was white, which was perfect. And here I am just kind of dialing in where she's standing, checking her audio and all that stuff before we get started. And I think I'm going to show you, this is our final frame, so really love the catch light we were able to get. She's a little bit brighter than the background just to make her pop. And so here's us still just kind of talking through things. I showed you the final thing, but this is just a little bit of some more behind the scenes of me getting things going. So let's talk a little bit more about good versus good enough. So of course, in this frame, there are a few things that I would change if I had way more time. Would I get a larger light source, maybe shoot through some diffusion? Yes. Would I get a hair light on frame left to help her pop a little bit better? Yes. Would I spend a little more time to get the shadows off of the wall, kind of the right third of frame where we're getting a little shadow from that plant. Yes, absolutely. But being able to get this quality of frame in the amount of time that we got it, I think we only, from me setting up to us being done in here, was about 30 minutes. And I really needed to prioritize getting things in camera, get it done as quick as possible so that I could pack up my cart and move on to the next thing to make sure that we could accomplish what we needed to in the amount of time that we had. So multiple deliverables, multiple locations, limited crew, you got to do what you can. So I'm really happy with this. This is the kind of work that I love to do. I love working with people that aren't usually on camera, getting them comfortable with being on camera. And by having a light that I can just set up quickly like this without having to plug it into a wall, it allows me more time to talk with the person that's going to be on camera. It allows me more time to talk with the client. And this is what I'm all about. I've been really trying to shift towards fast instead of more power. Like I've got a 600D, but I really don't use it that often. Now, I hope this video was helpful for you if you're either getting into the corporate video space, or maybe you're just loading your car up with too much stuff and you're realizing you're not using all the gear that you take to your shoots with you. I think a portable light like this that is battery powered can really save some time. I'm gonna keep using this for a while. I actually have a shoot tomorrow I'm probably gonna use it for as well. And I'm interested in trying some of the other offerings, the 200 or the 300 watt ones. But what's nice about this is I've found 100 watts is almost always enough for these really fast shoots where I'm not necessarily fighting windows. I'm not looking to light a whole space. I'm looking to put just some light on a person so that they look good and you can get through the work. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment. If you don't have any thoughts, then I don't know what to tell you. Thanks for watching. Also, this is our foster cat, Fun Bobby. Look at that. What a cutie. I know. Okay.